When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we will set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we will set up.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Zhi Rong?
Su? Oh, Su?
Basement, level vibes, with another one, straight up, blackness, aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and pon the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and
oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Yeah, my name is Jacinti Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by 1 vote, they're losing it by data. I have no.
My name is Linden Shaka Tukumbo Afro Wellington Bavarians. Carpool Police 21111. My name is Linden Shaka Tukumbo Afro Wellington Bavarians.
London, make some noise! London, make some noise! London, if you love me, make some noise!
All right, good night and welcome to Straight Up. It's Monday, the 4th day of August, 2025. The 4th day. Hey, I was listening. What is it? Over to You was on last evening with Wayne Caesar and Dr. Vincent Adams, his co-host for the night, and they were on. And the subject that came up was about free education, and this is something that the opposition, the main opposition, this is something that they should be working on in ensuring that the party's message gets out and to talk directly to young people. I don't know why our operator. We have a new operator, Watermelon, and for some reason, these two folks are on. We're not ready to talk about them. Please, operator, if you can remove them. Thank you. And, oops, I don't know what's happening with our operator, but Watermelon will get it right. Good night and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benchop. We're going to rock and roll for just about an hour. And so lots of things we want to talk about this evening. But first of all, you can, we'll pick up where we just left off, but you can tell me how was your weekend. And also you get the opportunity to share the link as well. And we can rock and roll. Let me just say hi to all of you. That's all. Hi. And these days when you go like this, whoops, right? The idiotic prime minister, so-called prime minister of Guyana, he went something like this, and that was it. The main opposition, the People's National Congress Reform, they ran an ad. And they say, look, this guy he's supporting. So, okay. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? What is happening in your neck of the woods? Let me just say there will be no fighting in the audience. There will be no scratching. There will be no cursing up. We'll get straight to the point. And if you guys see, I noticed somebody said that dread lawyer Selwyn, he's usually in the audience there. He's very vulgar. I don't know. He got into a tangle with bingo lady, Francine Cruz, and the B word, and anyway, that's like, gosh, these days they don't make lawyers like long time anymore. Hardly do. So watch out for the trench crappos. As you guys know, we keep it nice and clean right here on 107.1 FM. If you know what I mean. There's not going to be any argument. There's not going to be anything. You're going to disagree. You're going to agree to disagree and respect each other. Desiree Simons, good night. How are you doing? Desiree, one of our faithful, I don't want to say followers, but she is glued to Straight Up, as many people are, and they're glued to other programs as well. And good night to Desiree Simons. Desiree is asking, who is Watermelon? Somebody in the audience, please explain to Desiree who is Watermelon, because she says she just missed that. Who Watermelon is, please let Desiree know. But good night to all of you. If you're celebrating your birth anniversary, happy birthday. There's a lady that should have been on who has celebrated, she is today 103 years old. 103 years old. Can you believe it? And she was supposed to have been on the program tonight to talk a little bit, but we understand, because of her age, we do understand, and we just want to Miss Scott to wish her a happy birthday. In fact, Miss Moore, Phoebe Moore, right? Phoebe Moore Scott. She's 100 years old today. Phoebe Moore Scott is 100 years old today. 100 years old today. 100. So happy birthday to Mrs. Moore. And then we have another, someone that we know right here. Lots of people know Miss Phoebe Moore as well. 100 years. I wish I can live way past 100 years, right? I know some people love if, you just go just like that, right? But I do believe I have lots and lots more years on Earth, right? And thank you guys for that confidence in me. But Winston Jordan is the former minister of finance, and we gotta give this guy some respect. We have to, regardless of how we twist, we turn. We've got to give this guy some respect. You know why? Because he's still out there. He's fighting. He's battling. He's telling it like it is. He's confronting the wicked, demonic regime, because they went after him to persecute him. And he didn't duck and hide and became afraid and all these things. He didn't. Winston Jordan continues to fight these vagabonds, and not fight them and out of any malice or whatever. Winston Jordan is doing it. He's showing the facts. He's a professional. And this is what we need in Guyana. We need professionals to stand up, and experienced individuals to stand up and confront any regime. In this regards, it's the PPP regime that went after him to persecute him and all manner of things. And unlike most of the other guys and gals that were in the coalition government, they duck and they hide and they are afraid to speak out. But not this guy. Winston Jordan is not afraid to speak out at all. And for some reason, I suspect that Mr. Jordan could possibly be from either Linden or Philippi on the quarantine, or maybe Alnis. Our operator, Watermelon, has former finance minister on the phone with us. It's his birthday, guys. Wish him a happy birthday. We're not going to ask how old he is, but he looks younger than me. Good night, Mr. Jordan, and happy birthday to you, sir.
Mark, good night. I had a pretty good day. I had a couple glasses of wine, and you caught me just about when I was about to turn in.
Okay. Well, for those of you who don't understand what turn in means, it simply means that he was about to sit down and watch straight up. That's what turn in means. Right? Well, Mr. Jordan, on behalf of all those who are watching now and those who will watch later, we want to wish you a happy birthday, sir, and many more to come.
Thank you very much, Mark, and I am grateful to the family, all my wife and my children and my relatives and friends, and huge among the new friends and so on. Sharon, I put it on Facebook, and I impressed that nearly 600 or over 600 persons by now sent well wishes and so on. So I'm particularly grateful. I'm also grateful for the fact that I'm dedicating this 68th to my really truly friend who didn't make it by about 8 days, right? Leroy Charles. This one is for you. The 68th would have been the 18th of July, but he died on 10th of July. Yep. So this one is for you.
Yep. Sorry to hear about the passing of your friend, and condolences to Mr. Leroy Charles' family and friends as well, and colleagues. So happy birthday. I noticed some folks in the audience saying it's Barack Obama's birthday as well. But happy birthday to the former president of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
I want people to know that Barack is my junior. He's 64. I'm 68. He's my junior.
You don't look 68. There's some folks in the audience who are way younger than you. Wayne Caesar is one of them.
Leave Wayne alone.
Tom Anderson is one of them. Michelle Justice is another one. Shondell Griffith is another one. Deborah Sharon Lynch. You look way younger than all those folks, man. Well, of course.
I tell him it's some Jamaican overproof and some cocoa butter and a dash of AP, and you voting on September the 4th.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Jordan, for taking time out. I know it's your birthday, but how you see the elections going? How's the economy? Is it growing? Is it going down? What's going on? I know it's your birthday, but give us a special before you go. Give us a little 10 minutes, please.
Well, on the elections, as you say, the home stretch will soon be around. I think voting by the um, armed services, discipline services, is another week and a half or two. Um, and so I think we have to concentrate fully in getting out the vote. I like what the APNU is doing in terms of concentrated on the house to house, because there's nothing that beats house to house, and certainly no amount of ferrying people from one location to the next to create the impression of a crowd can beat the old-fashioned house to house. There are other things that they can do to improve the, as I said, the messaging and the PR and so on. But I think from whence they came to where they are now, I think they're picking at the right time, and we have to make one last effort towards September the 4th. As it relates to these observers, on another program I had a little dash on these observers. I don't particularly like observers from the standpoint that I don't know what on earth they come to Guyana to observe. They haven't done a pretty good job when it comes to observation, number one, and it is worse in this particular election where some already have the view that some observers are, I don't want to use the word tainted, but they don't seem to be unbiased in their outlook and what they are doing. The most comprehensive report for any observer is put out by the European Union every 5 years, and yet the European Union don't seem to be aghast at the fact that almost none of these recommendations are taken on board. And it gets scary when I hear the European Union, for example, is going to say that they're observing things, but it will all be in their report. So what is the sense you're observing them, and you are unable to even make a preliminary assessment on what you see? You can put it in a report that is just going to gather dust, right? The government is going to ignore it. And the European Union, like all the other donors, they are in a wonderful position of being able to hold the government's feet accountable, because they give generous grants to the government, particularly in the sea defense area. And notwithstanding the fact that we may have lots of oil now and oil money, the European grant money held the sea defenses for many years and still do. And they could be holding the government's feet to the fire in terms of the implementation of these relative to the disbursement of the grants. But they seem to be come here, imbibe, fraternize, write a report that has already been written halfway before they come, and then a report, pat themselves on the back, and then gone. And then what? We are none the wiser, and everything to the worse. So I'm not being impressed with any set of the observers, and unless they show significant improvement, I will remain unimpressed about observing these elections.
Absolutely. I know it's your birthnight. I don't want to take you away from your family, but final question, and it is the final question for tonight, because you will be invited back again very soon. Very soon, right? That's very soon. You will be back, and I want to touch on this before you go. Lots of promises from the PPP regime. They've been there for 23 years plus this 5 years, and suddenly they're promising the moon, the sky, the every single thing. Why weren't they able to do all of these things before, instead of again coming on elections time to promise people? What do you think of all these promises, sir?
Yeah. Well, as they say, promises the comfort of a fool, right? And in essence, what the PPP has done over the years is fool the Guyanese public. I think in the first place, there's some view that this is their plantation. Even though they came and met people like Columbus, who believed that he had discovered the new world, even though he came and met the indigenous people. The PPP believed that this is their plantation, even though they came and met people. Right, and in fact, they were among the last set of people to arrive in the country. But they operate as if this is their plantation, and anything else, you have to suck up, and everything else under their thumb and under their rule. And what they have done, I saw some online thing called Guyana Standard, in which the editor was trying to take me up on a podcast I did last week on CAMS TV about slavery. But I indicated that I won't respond because I don't feel that she understood some of these basics that we were talking about. I don't think she understood the analogy and so on. And people looking for it. When you make an analogy of slavery, people say, "Oh, don't trivialize slavery. Those people were in chains." Well, if you're looking for slavery, modern day slavery, and people in chains, well, then you don't understand slavery itself, because chains and so on were just manifestations. Slavery is a matter of mind and the imposition of a system, right? Of which chains and mouthing and brutality and all them things are symptomatic of it. But oh yes, they say we were free, but we aren't afraid of the mental chains. We are afraid perhaps of the physical chains, but not the mental chain. The reality is, coming back to what I talked about with PPP, is that they have been marginalizing a set of people in this country, the majority of whom happen to be Guyanese of African descent, a number of whom happen to be indigenous people, some of their own East Indian followers, and so on. So those people push their backs, pushed against the wall. They have few options. One, the main option was to vote with your feet. Now that outlet is now closing up, especially to United States. It is now becoming increasingly difficult to go there. In 2023, now forced to disclose the numbers, over 3,000 Guyanese overstayed their visa to the United States. Right? So you could see pretty soon that $15,000 bond that they're going to be putting in place are going to be slapped on to Guyanese. Right? So that outlet is being closed. You could also decide that you are going to get into illegal activities, whether it be drugs, prostitution, trafficking, thieving, or whatever, which some have done. Or you can decide to go over, which is what some have been doing. Right? They have been going over to get the bread that the devil needs. They don't intend to struggle to get a fair share. It is okay for them to get the crumbs that is being thrown at them. Right? So it becomes, as Christopher Ram said in his letter, I think it's on Saturday, it becomes a transactional thing. It doesn't become a principal thing. Right? Where Kiko, Vincent, Tiko, and Johnny Singh and those people believed in an ideological stance and so on. No, it's now about me, and what you can give me. Right? And what you can, notwithstanding the outrageous promises that these who are going over will deliver Linden and deliver Region 4 and all these things. Those are comical things. Comical things. Javier thought he would have won Georgetown and Linden and so on in the local government election. I don't understand. Spent billions of dollars in those elections. And then what he got? What he got. And those people, particularly the Linden people who understand and know about struggle, they will take everything that they throw at them, but they will not vote for them. And that is how it must be. These people must not be taking our patrimony and our resources and treating it as it is theirs to do whatever they want with it. Trillions of dollars have come to this government. Monies that they never really worked for, but inherited from the coalition government who put in all the infrastructure and got kicked around and criticized and everything while we were putting in infrastructure from scratch to manage the oil industry and to manage the oil sectors. And then they get installed in 2020. After we have done all the hard work, they come in, they inherited a natural resource fund that has already started bunking money. They raided the natural resource fund in January 2022 of all the money that was in the fund, the $600 something million that was in the fund. They continue to raid the natural resource fund, and we don't know where the money is going, what projects they are financing, and so forth. In fact, it's scandalous that they're running a trillion budget. A $1.4 trillion budget that they're also out of that budget, notwithstanding the fact that they're using up 95% of the natural resource fund. They're borrowing over 35% to finance this $1.4 trillion budget. These are concerns. These are concerns that the Guyanese people got to express openly, not in bars and among friends and so on. They have to express openly because you know why? All the examples in history are there to show that when things begin to go south, it's not the friends, families and favorites who are going to be the ones who are balling. It's going to be the ordinary people who never benefited in the first place. They're the ones who are going to ball. They're the ones who are going to suffer. And we have seen it even in Guyana with all the structural adjustment programs that we have to go through. Who were the beneficiaries of these structural adjustment programs? The small, tiny elite. The great mass of people are still suffering today from structural adjustment programs. All that money that came to this government, and what do you have to see for it? And you're struggling, they are struggling to hold on to power by all these nefarious means of buying out people here, sharing out money there, sharing out promises there, you know, and so on. And then bringing on board some catchers to rope in votes from non-traditional voting blacks. You got to do all of that. Imagine after trillions of dollars have come to your hands. If people had benefited, they will gravitate naturally. Naturally. The fact that a vacuum was created, just giving rise to a party named Win, the fact that people all wrong, but in particular certain groups have suffered massively over the last 5 years, that is why they have to do what they are doing. Having caravans of people going all over the country, creating the impression that you're getting crowds, making some of these outrageous promises, just to hold on to power. Just to hold on to power. But we have to make September the 4th Judgment Day. Judgment Day. Because if they don't make September the 4th Judgment Day, all of us will be eating the devil's bread. All of us. Because if we think that we are going to live on the promises that we are given, if we think we are going to live on roads that are built today and break up tomorrow, if we think we are going to live on hospitals that were built with borrowed money, but can't function, and people are continuing to come down to Georgetown in their droves, if we are going to build schools where they don't have playgrounds in them anymore, but the president claiming that every Friday now will be PE days. Classic example is Christchurch. I don't know where they're going to do their PE because they're taking everything in defense. And I once asked the mayor, how did Christchurch and other similar schools get permission to build where the buildings are almost on the pavement? If a private person did that, the inspector will come around and tell them they got to break it down. So how did the government get permission to build all those schools that don't conform to the boundaries and all these kinds of stories? How did they get that permission? So you got all of those issues.
Definitely lots and lots of issues. We know it's your birthnight. Please return. Maybe by the end of the week, you have other shows you can go to. You're the kind of guy that's not afraid to confront the corrupt PPP regime. And so on your birthnight, we want to thank you so much for taking time out. I know others, you may call them, they may say, oh, it's my birthday, I got some other time, but not you. I don't know where you got that energy from. You got to be either from Linden or Philippi, like I've said earlier, or I don't know. But thank you so much for this fighting spirit that you have, and you're doing so relentlessly and with much bravery for the Guyanese people who well deserve it. Thank you, sir. And happy birthday.
But Mark, thank you for bringing me on, but I'm trying to educate people. Look, if you must choose if you must die, and you have the ability to choose your death, then let us do so. Let no other person try to choose your death if you got the opportunity to choose it. And if you must die as you would, then die with your boots on, rather than piecing your boots also. Okay? So this is not a question of being afraid or so on. That is what bullies do until you begin to fight back. Until you begin to fight back.
And thank you for
fighting.
fighting.
So if all of us are afraid, if Rosa Parks didn't sit, none of us will be here today standing. If Coffee didn't fight back, none of us will be here. Will be here fighting, continuing to fight the fight that we thought we had won before. And what is going on in this country, in the face of huge resources, enormous resources, what is going on in this country? You cannot remain silent. You cannot remain silent. Because to remain silent is to push you further into immeasurization. And that is what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. You may have pockets of people who are doing well and all these kinds of things, but check and see. Go wrong. This is not about scare tactics. Go wrong and you will see.
Thank you.
Go wrong and you will see.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jordan.
So thank you very much for having me on tonight.
And thank you. I know they got hundreds of folks who are watching, probably thousands, who knows, but lots of folks have wished you a happy birthday. You can quickly say thank you to them in the meanwhile.
Yes, yes, and I thank all the folks for continuing. Birthday, but you have birth week and birth month. So I have a birth month of August, and so you could continue sending the well wishes.
Thank you so much, sir, and appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Winston Jordan there for you guys, former finance minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, and he's correct. Birth month, birth night, birth, and makes me now know that September is a birth night. I can't wait for September. Birth month for me, of course. Tell you guys in advance. I noticed though. Let me just address one person before we move on. That's Francine Cruz. Always in her ricketic, so to speak. And let me just caution Francine Cruz in saying that she's being prevented from blogging something about Selwyn Peters and that this is a CIA station, all sorts of accusations. But let me say to you, Francine Cruz, that I don't know what you're talking about, but you've got to be responsible. Look, people are entitled to their sexual preference, and this is not a platform where you're going to come and accuse Selwyn Peters of being or liking the same sex. Even if that is the case, that's his prerogative, that's his business, that's his lifestyle. We have an elections and we want to get the PPP out of office. This has nothing to do with Selwyn Peters' sexual orientation. He and others can like whoever they want to like, love up whoever they want to love up, deal with whomever they want. That is their business. That is their lifestyle. So please do not make this platform a platform where you come and this is not just Francine Cruz. And when folks like Francine don't get their way, all level of silly accusations, but CIA radio station, CIA program, I don't know. Anyways, probably pick that up at the bingo place when you go back at bingo and put your hands in the people's bingo jar. Now we got news that a candidate for the PPPC collapsed and died, maybe of a heart attack or whatever. And this happened earlier tonight. And as he was talking about the billions of dollars, the Mohammeds allegedly, according to him, and maybe OFAC as well, robbed taxpayers, as he just concluded that particular part of robbing billions. He has died, right? And but the point that I want to make is the fact that the PPPC has robbed Guyanese of billions of dollars, deprived Guyanese of billions of dollars. So if they're going to paint the Mohammeds with that same brush, take the brush and paint themselves. The PPP need to paint themselves with the same brush, because it's the PPP who gave him that opportunity to do what they're now saying that he did. And OFAC and all these people claiming that he did. And maybe there are lots and lots of evidence that he did. But this is what happened earlier tonight.
We will not follow the Blue Party. The Blue Party who has robbed the country of over $10 billion. Money that could have been helping your children.
And that's it. Money that could have been helping your children. And now he died making a valid point. Whoever he is, died making a valid point. That was just moments ago, maybe just under an hour ago, and died making a valid point. But before he went on to the great beyond, he should have been able to paint the PPP with the same brush, the same dirty brush. Somebody says, stop the PPP lies. The same dirty brush, because the Mohammeds have been with the PPP all their lives, and they became rich under the PPP. Rich under the PPP. And so it is because the PPP allowed them. And if you listen to OFAC, if you read OFAC sanctions, the Mohammeds were sanctioned because they were able to, according to OFAC, corrupt government officials, corrupt police officers, and all these different things. And that is what OFAC said. And now this guy that said what he said and collapsed afterwards, half truth. He should have put the PPP in the same bracket, but he didn't get an opportunity to do it. He just didn't, because moments ago, this is what happened.
We will not follow the Blue Party. The Blue Party who has robbed the country of over $10 billion. Money that could have been helping your children.
Just like that. Anyways, we're not here on this program to laugh at anybody's demise or whatever. And so that headmaster from Bartica Secondary, condolences to his family, and condolences to his family. And but he went away speaking half truth, that part of $10 billion, and it could have gone, fair enough. That's a fact. Don't run away from that. That's a fact. But the PPP is far worse. If you think the Mohammeds are bad, and they are, don't get me wrong, they are, right? But the PPP is 10 times worse, 10 times bad, 10 times thieving as well. And so, maybe Jack Dale, remember
there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Zhi Rong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
All right, so corruption all across the board. When they were in bed, all of them were part and parcel together. They did everything together. Now they're fighting each other. They're fighting each other, and they want some of you to join that fight. I say no. Let them fight. Let them kill Mati. Let them just do Mati, walk over for Mati. All right, whatever. Let them do. Let them fight. You guys have an elections, as former finance minister said, and September 1st, you've got to vote right. You've got to do the right thing. You can't chase around and supporting Pakus and Lagu Bagus and so forth and so on. You know what I mean, right? All right. In Linden, how many of you from Linden tonight? How many of you are watching from Linden, or how many of you are from Linden? How many of you are from Linden? Yanet Elias is asking who died. Means that she's in the classroom not paying attention, just not paying attention. And so the headmaster of a Bartica secondary school, I believe, died earlier tonight. And somebody, please, let's replay it for Janet.
We will not follow the Blue Party. The Blue Party who has robbed the country of over $10 billion. Money that could have been helping your children.
Yeah, that's the PPP candidate out in Bartica, died moments ago, and died as a result of, we were told, some sort of a heart attack or something. We don't know, and all we do know is that he died, and he died when he spoke half-truth. Half-truth. He died at least telling you part of the story and the truth, but he just cut short of telling you that the PPP is also equally guilty of that. Equally guilty of that. So be careful of who you support. Be careful of who you vote for, because you might be voting for from one oppressor to another oppressor. Just be careful, guys. Be careful. Don't allow emotions and these things to get the better half of you. You've got to vote right come September 1st. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? How many of you are from Linden? I think I asked that question. Desiree Bob says that she is from Linden. Who else is from Linden here? How many? Just one Linden person we have? One Linden person. One person from Linden. I don't know. What's happening? Angie Christianberg says that she's a Lindener. Let me see. Keith Beresford, no, the lies. Billions of dollars indeed were robbed and snatched away from taxpayers that should have gone for roads and schools and so forth. So, Keith, go back to OFAC sanctions and you'll understand. All right, so so Lindeners are in the house. I want to ask Lindeners one question, and I want you guys to be honest with me. Deborah Prince and all others. I want you guys to be honest with me. Lindeners, do you guys love me? Seriously, it's a serious question. Do you love me, Lindeners? Do you love me? Come on, let me see what you guys got. Do you love me, Lindeners? Fellow Lindeners, do you guys love me? Yes, or do you love me? Because these days people are begging for love, right? Do you love me? And I felt sorry for that individual who was begging for love. But do you love me? Some of you guys probably didn't pick up where that is coming from, right? But let me show you guys why I asked that question.
London, make some noise. London, if you love me, make some noise.
So, Lyndon, if you love me, make some noise. What the heck is that? What is this campaign turned to? What is this elections all about? You go in front of a crowd that was basically bust into the region, bust into the tongue. 98% or 99% of those folks who were at that so-called rally, that dance session, that bubble session, they weren't from Linden. And I've had folks message me, and they were looking around for folks who were actually from Linden. And they are yet to pinpoint someone who is from Linden. Most of those folks were catching buses from Bath Settlement, Quarantine, all over. Sophia, B Field, C Field, free bus. You jump on the bus and you just sit down and you just drive and you enjoy yourself. And you collect little t-shirts, you collect little food, little money. And that is what the PPP is doing. So they're renting crowds. It's called rent a crowd. The PPP in their manifesto, they got rent a crowd. So they're going to rent a crowd and travel around the country with your tax dollars. So the PPP has rent a crowd, and the PNC APNU coalition, they have rent to own. Rent your house, rent your home to own it. And the corrupt PPP got rent a crowd. These people have no shame. And the thing is about those corrupt PPP guys, they have the audacity on stage to say, look at people. Right? These corrupt vagabonds have absolutely no shame. They rent a crowd. They pay people to be there. They pay people dal and rice. They give people cook up. They give people chanchi and dry coconut and sugar, right, Dr. Isaacs? Yep, all these things they do. And with shame, with no shame, actually. They get on the stage and they say, look up people here. Look up people what they rent. And they took those people to Linden. Oh, man. The PPP na get shame. Them Katahars na get shame. When will the people of Linden open their eyes and see that these vagabonds, whether it is the man who calls himself a bishop or whomever, or fake Nati, Linden, do you love me? Let's make some noise. Nobody made noise. Nobody made noise except a couple of them on stage and a couple of them in front. I heard some people were cheering him. Those on stage were cheering him. In fact, I got a recording of what those on stage were cheering him, and some were laughing at him. So when he said, Linda,
Linden, make some noise. Linden, if you love me, make some noise.
Yeah, the people on stage were making some noise. They were sitting there and said, look at that. Exactly what you just heard there, right? And that is what is happening. Now, forget about him. They have bondage. They have a flatfoot hustler, James Bond, and those others. They're flatfoot hustlers. Let's not beat around the bush, guys. They're hustlers. They're not committed people. They're not committed to a cause. They're hustlers. Now, let me ask you this. What is it? Especially, let's go back to Figueroa. I say Figueroa because when the PPP wanted to go after him for Pigpen and all these sort of things, Pigpen and all these sort of things, it was us, all of us right here. All of us right here on 107.1 FM. Most of you in the audience were out there defending Figueroa. Most of you out there were defending Figueroa. Now we got a trench crappo here. Let's welcome trench crappo Jasmati Ramphal. And Jasmati says, shut the heel up. You have no shame, you donkey. Right? And that is what's happening. Bumps raising. They can't, they got to resort to that because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. They can't take it. They can't take it because the truth hurts. And so Jasmati, gal, you sound like basmati rice. Jasmati. What we gonna do with a chamarke by? What we gonna do with Jasmati? Figueroa, Jagdev and Irfan and them not fit to go in the market, much less you must vote for them, right? Much less you vote for them. They are Katahars. Look, Jasmati, bumps raising. Thank you for the compliments there, Jasmati. Too bad you can't say the same about that to Jagdev and Irfan and them. So you got to come here and give me that nice compliment. Jasmati, girl, we know what's on your mind, but there wouldn't be no further distraction right here on 107.1 FM. As we continue tonight's program. And so imagine all of you, all of us, we took the position to confront the PPP regime. I know some of you guys saw what Jasmati said there, right? Mark. Yeah, and that's how the PPP folks like to admire us, right? Okay, enough of that. Now let me say this here. Let me say this. And so we all know what these hustlers are doing. These hustlers, they're not about Guyana. They're not about their political party. There's no commitment, absolutely nothing. It's just about themselves and what they can get. And they believe that they have the power to influence people to go out and vote. They might be able to influence one or two if they're that lucky. And then you get some of them, I don't know, like a shame. Shame. The Flatfoot Hustler Bond is saying that the PPP will win what? Some region. What? You gotta be kidding. 4 and 10? What cocaine this bond is smoking now? What cocaine? Some low-grade cocaine to believe that the PPP is going to win region. Are they kidding? I can't believe these guys smoke some high-grade cocaine or something. And then just after being oppressed by a corrupt PPP regime, German Figueroa, we're going to get it right. And when we get it right, we'll get it right. German Figueroa is talking about what the PPP has done for Region 10. What exactly the PPP has done for Region 10. And the Pacus like Figueroa and others who are from Linden and who spoke on that stage, shame on them. Because there is nothing, and I repeat, turn to your neighbor and say, there is nothing that the PPP has done to develop Linden. They have caused confusion, they have caused division, and I pass to the people of Linden, the people of Ituni. And let's stop at Ituni right now. Anyone in Ituni can tell you that for the past 5 years, the PPP has not done anything to develop, as Anil and them would say, develop Ituni. For 23 years, they have not done anything to develop either Ituni, either Linden, or even Kokwani. Now, we've got to give the coalition some credit. We've got to give the coalition some credit. Because when the coalition got into office in 2025, holy smoke, they started to change things. They could have done more, but they did way better than the corrupt PPP regime. Way better. All over the place is blackout. It's bare Nancy stories they're telling you guys now in elections time. Blackout all day and night. People are complaining. Blackout. And so when these Pacus try to convince you, we know 99% of you don't even listen to the Pacus because you know a hustler when you see a hustler, right? A hustler can't just be committed to one party, supposedly for all those years, and suddenly running around in a red t-shirt and flags and all. Something is wrong. Something is really wrong. That big house at Borbies or Kanji Bridge, I know some of you know that big house at Kanji Bridge. If I had my way, Kanji Bridge, I will invest in some money, not for the bridge, because that bridge is money's worth. Your tax dollars worth. For all those years that bridge is there and it's still standing tall, able to bridge the community, able to bring people out, people who never had their produces and so forth to go to New Amsterdam market. That Kanji Bridge is still there. I remember as a little boy, we used to drive over Kanji Bridge, and it was like we were driving across Brooklyn Bridge or some nice bridge, Verrazano Bridge or something like that, right? Kanji Bridge, right, Michelle Lampkin? Kanji Bridge still there. It's not falling to pieces like that song, Patsy Cline. It falls to pieces. Every single thing the PPP put their hands on, it falls to pieces. That is what is happening in Guyana. And if you guys can't wake up and you can't see that the PPP has brought misery to the country, well, something is wrong with you guys. And these Pakus who jump from green and overnight gone in red, because you know if something gone from green to red, it post ripe. And they've got to be clowns. And I even have, don't even disrespect the clowns. These people gone beyond clown stage. Take a listen to this. Take a listen. This got to be Paku. Pakuism. Got to be Pakuism. Pakuism one.
Irrigation system in this community is better. It's better today because you have a government who already puts the people first. And the people.
And this guy, like he get, like you catch antabanta and neng neng, or you something and your ice curling up and things like that. You could tell something is not right with these folks. The ice curling up when they line their nose pop up, and you could see till up in their nose straight up like if you're going through the Demerara River. These people could lie what development, what drainage and irrigation in Linden. What fat by talk? Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that because, I'm a little hefty myself, right? But what fat by really talking about? Who these people think they... He can't even breathe with a tight pants he get on, and he's shut and think tight over him. These people, like Nancy put it rightly there. Check what Nancy called them. That's exactly who they are. And who are the people listening to these Pakus? Not me, not thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people not listening to them because they're fighting for their daily bread. They're fighting for a piece of land, some sort of concession. They're all these things. That is what they want. And as long as they're happy, guess what? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hand. That's what they do. They are the ones who are benefiting. And they don't care about community. They don't care about the people of Linden. They don't care about the people of Ituni. Ask when last they went to Ituni. They don't care about the people in Kokwani. They don't. Now, I noticed some people just bluing in, pretending as though they care too. Them to not care. Michael Jackson has a song and said, all I really want to say is that they don't really care about it. Those are the people in Kokwani and Ituni and so forth. When you see the PPP say, all I want to do is, what's up? They don't really care about it. They don't care about you guys. Don't fall for their tricks. Don't fall for their gimmicks. Do not fall for it. They are flatfoot hustlers, gamblers, and cockneck drinkers, and all these sort of things. And we spell cockneck correctly, right? Especially that in cockneck. All right, guys. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? You get the message already. Don't let the Pakus fool you guys, because the Pakus can't convince you guys at all. They can't. You guys are way smarter than that. You guys have your ID cards. You guys are ready to vote. You guys are ready to make a good decision for country. You've got to save country. You ain't voting to save no one individual from troubles. And prosecution, not persecution. Prosecution by U.S. law enforcement. Prosecution. And suddenly you're going to hear things, they care about young people and our children, young men and women. Young men were being slaughtered in the streets in Guyana. And you think the Mohammeds and them ever care about all of that? They never cared about nothing. They never care about your hurt. They never cared about so many people who were being persecuted. They're just like the PPP. Now suddenly they're pretending like they care, like they love you. Really? Duh. Sorry. Sometimes I get a little bit carried away, especially when I say duh. Don't want to song like Selwyn Peters and duh. All right, so 4 minutes after 10 o'clock, my name is Mark Bencha. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? And what do you want us to talk about? Because tonight I feel like talking and talking and talking, and I don't want to stop. I want to go on until maybe 11 or 12 o'clock. What say you guys? All right. What else is it that we can talk about? Remember this. Now, I showed that fat guy from Linden, right? I want to show this woman. But she could lie. Tandai McAllister could lie. Take a listen.
In my opinion, the performance of the PPP government for the past 4 years, in fact, since it took office, has been nothing short of exceptional. If we factor in I call it the downtime due to COVID and all of the resources.
This woman could lie. Tandai. Development under a corrupt regime that oppressed hundreds of thousands of Guyanese? Nah, man, and you said it with a straight face. Oh, Tandai, you make me an fall. Tandai could lie, right? You know, and the PPP loves those sort of people who could lie. Jermaine could lie. Tandai could lie. Well, forget James, but he hustling. Full out hustler, flat foot hustler. He don't tell y'all he ain't no shame. Y'all heard him sometimes speaking, and he said, this is what he said. He said basically he ain't get no shame. Where our operator, let's get Bond talking, saying that he ain't get shame. Oh, come on, operator. I asked for Bond, not James. All right, so what else is happening in your neck of the woods? Lindeners, do not text swar. Do not be swar. The PPP doesn't like you. And guys like Bond and Figueroa and these guys, they don't feel your hurt. They don't feel your pain. They're pretending. They have pretended for all those years that they claim that they were with you. But let's talk about Figueroa. Figueroa said last night at that paid rally something about development and schools. Somebody should ask Figueroa, what about Bamia Primary School? Almost 3 years now, hundreds of millions of dollars, deprived the people of Linden, young people of Linden, an opportunity to go to a nice school, compliments of taxpayers. But no, they gave the contract to friends and cronies, and up to today, that school cannot be completed. And now we understand why Jermaine Figueroa wasn't concentrating on holding those who were given the contract accountable. We now know why. We now know why Figueroa and others, and when we call for a boycott, well, we now notice Blue Man, the Mohammeds, them calling for boycott this, persecution this. Life, yeah? Life is funny. Because when you see your neighbors, those things happening to your neighbors, and either you're complicit or you turn a blind eye, and someday those same things will come back to you. And that is what the Mohammeds are feeling. They're feeling that sort of karma. Oops. Anyway, sorry about that. Sometimes I get carried away, you know. I shouldn't be doing that, right? But sometimes I get carried away, guys. Please do forgive me sometimes out there, right? And so Bamia School, incomplete, over $400 million. They put their hustlers there on it, and they can't complete the school. Earlier this year or late last year, wasn't it Auntie Merle Shirley Jackdale who came out and said that the school is finished? What happened? This is the 8th month of 2025. The school's still waiting to finish, Jackdale? Huh? Jermaine Figueroa, what happened with the school? What happened to the people who were slaughtered in Linden? Shame on Jermaine Figueroa and the others who are now supporting a corrupt regime, a bloodthirsty regime, a murderous regime that went into Linden and slaughtered Lindeners. Forget about the fact that the corrupt PPP giving a little money to the victims' families and so forth. Forget about all of that. The issue, though, is this. The PPP went into Linden and murdered citizens of Linden. And those Lindeners, 99.9% of Lindeners, aren't going to forget the PPPC for that. And no matter what these Pacus go on stage, no matter what they wear, whether they wear pink shirt or what is it, red shirt, red hat, red eyes, red nose ring, red bra, red, and in the case with some of these men, red on. We know some of them, red undies, right? And they parade themselves to the PPP regime and giving the impression that the PPP is this and they did that and all sort of things. They destroyed Linden. And any Paku who wants to speak otherwise is just what it is. Pakus. Do not listen to the Pakus in these elections. They do not mean well. They are just hustlers. They're looking to save themselves. All of the Pakus. We know who those Pakus are. We know who those Lagubagus are. We know who those Katahars are. We know who those Korhis are. We know who those Chamars are. We know who those Longira are. We know who they are. They are a bunch of Tere Kabur Nani Kachoro Kalandeke. That is who they are. They are a pack of no good. All they're thinking about is their pockets and enriching themselves. As long as they get little Guinness money, Guinness contract, and so forth, they are comfortable with that. Now, I'm not talking about the ordinary man and woman who trying to get by and they may take a little gutter contract. But I'm sure a new government will raise them up from gutterism. Take them out of the gutter. But what the PPP wants is to keep people in the gutter. We know who the people are that they want to keep in the gutter. So they're going to go to Agricola. Can somebody say Agricola? And they're going to give them some gutter contract because that's where they want to keep the people in the gutter. But the people, they're not seeing beyond that because the corrupt government wants to give them the impression that that's all they're worth. But a new government will take the people out of the gutter, not take away their contract, not take away, but respect them, respect their lives, respect their families, respect their communities, and give them more than just gutter contract. Offer them proper education for themselves, their kids, and to develop their communities properly so that they can have libraries, they can have health centers, and all these things. We saw those sort of things under the coalition government, even when the coalition government didn't get oil money, access to oil money. So ask yourself this question. A good government with good people having access to the billions of dollars of oil wealth, what do you think they can do for you and your community and your children, and even better schools and better roads, not 2-inch or 1-inch road that crack up and bust up 1 week after when a big hole you sink into a big hole, right, Jack? Yeah, you guys know what I mean, but sorry about that. I get a bit carried away sometimes. And that is all. And so there's nothing that's able to last. Every single thing the PPP touches, it turns to the opposite of the Midas touch. Now, earlier, someone, I believe it was Nancy, spoke about blackouts. All day, blackout. You know, but yet they're coming to tell you now they're going to fix the blackout. They've been telling you since 1992 they're going to fix the blackout. They've been telling you since 1992 they're going to fix the Constitution. They've been telling you since 1992 there will be elections reform. They've been telling you since 1992 they're going to make a better life for you. And then in 1997 they say one love, and all these sort of things. In 2001, they promised you the moon, the world, the sky, and every single thing. And guess what they did? They continued to destroy people. And they had their friends and their cronies getting richer and richer and richer and richer, giving them 83,000 acres of lands. And you guys know what I mean, right? Yep, all these things they've been doing. The 92, they promised you. They didn't fulfill their promises. In 97, they did the same thing. In 2001, they did worse. In 2006, oh man. In 2011, when they got a minority government, all the promises and promises and promises and promises. In 2020, promises and promises, and then they were installed. And can't you guys see what is happening? Huh? Are you guys thirsty to be oppressed? Are you guys thirsty for punishment? And this has to do with not just PNC supporters or whatever. PPP supporters too. Guyana can do better. All Guyanese can live better if you have a proper government in place run by proper people, not corrupt individuals, not gold smugglers and gold thieves and all these sort of things and tax cheaters and so forth. No. Oops, I'm just being mischievous again. Good night. It's 14 minutes after 10 o'clock. You want good governance, good people in office who will be able to make Guyana breathe again so that you can get proper roads, proper bridges, proper schools, proper health centers, and all these things. The reason why the PPP rushes out to build so-called schools is because they could make money. They only build things where they can make money. They put on a little shabby roads where they can thief money. They are a pack of thieves and vagabonds that they just do not care about Guyana. They are unpatriotic people. That is what they are. And Guyana deserves better. The people of Guyana deserve better. And that is why you've got to vote smart. Think before you vote. Don't vote because somebody slap a towel in your hand. Don't vote because somebody give you a little $1,000. And these days, people ain't minibus handing out money. They ain't car handing out money. Is that what you are going to be subjected to? Where people take you for granted, people disrespect you and come into your community and fold up a little 5,000, a little 10,000. Hey, money, take this, how much this, take this. Is that what you're worth? Is that what your ancestors died for? Is that what your ancestors sweat for? To develop and build Guyana for in 2025, you're going to succumb to that sort of temptations by people who don't care about you, people who don't like you, and people who want to use you. Because they see that you're in a situation, they are going to use you instead of trying to find ways to uplift you. Good, fair enough. But they don't uplift you. They give you something and something else is in mind. Ulterior motives. Be careful. As Neville Sita says, Amjad Khan. Many of you know Amjad Khan is the big bad robber man in those Indian movies. Amjad Khan. And then you get Tuntun. Well, Priya Manik Chan. Rasta Priya. And now you got GPL. I noticed Ian Williams mentioning, and I was going to mention that earlier. Thank you, Ian. $650,000 per month for a company that is connected to one of the PACUs of the PPP. $650,000, guys. Are you hearing? Are you guys listening? $650,000 per month. For a company, just for consultancy. That is all. That is all. 650. Somebody getting a big cut. Jagdale, Irfan, those guys at GP. Who is getting a big cut out of this? And that is why the people, if the taxpayers, if the poor people can't get access to this oil wealth, and obviously they're not getting access to the oil wealth, you've got to vote the corrupt PPP out of office. Vote them out. I'm just giving you guys so many reasons why you should vote them out. But be careful with who you vote for, Be careful where you put your X. Be careful, because you might be voting for a replacement of your very oppression, a replacement of your persecution. We're hearing those words now being used wildly. Persecution. No, be careful, guys. You can't say me never did I warn you. Right, Joseph? Joseph, a peep in your card, by a peep in your Joseph. A peep in you. But good night to Joseph and all of you. Look, I can't believe I've been talking. It's 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. I've been talking nonstop, guys. I've been looking at some of your comments. Is there anything else that we should talk about before? I know a lot of you got to go to bed. Francine Cruz got knocked out probably on high wine. Disappear. Right. Disappear. All right. Hey, guys. Just what is it? Just a couple of weeks remaining for elections. You've got to go out and you've just got to do. I can't spell it out for you guys. I can't spell everything out for you guys, right? Don't waste your votes. Don't paste your votes. Don't take no money for no votes. Go out and vote. Vote because you have love for country, not love for money, love for wealth. No, we all want to be rich the right way, though. The right way. We don't want to smuggle wigs and smuggle lipsticks and get rich in smuggling, and then call yourself rich by smuggling wigs and lipsticks. You don't smuggle and become a rich billionaire or whatever. You don't smuggle. Honest, hard work. That is what this is about. And that is what all of you Guyanese should push for. And that is why you need a good government in place. So if one person gets access for duty-free concession, All Guyanese should be entitled to that. This is not an entitlement for friends and cronies and families. No, all Guyanese. And a lot of things can happen to ease the burden on Guyanese, regardless of their ethnicity. And that is why I'm confident that a new government, other than the corrupt PPP regime or any corrupt individual running to become president of Guyana, outside of that, you get good people in office, and Guyana will be able to breathe again. I'm out of here, guys. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Hazel Johnson is asking, Mark, listen to this here. Hazel Johnson is saying, Mark, who is your choices? You know, Miss Rollier from QC. A lot of you guys know Miss Rollier, right? Miss Rollier would have called Miss Hazel Johnson straight in the office for that. Mark, who is your choices? Well, we know Hazel. Hazel, how are you doing? No. Okay. Hazel wants to know, Mark, who is your choices? All right, guys. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Same place, same time. Have a good night. I love you guys, all of you. Winston Jordan, happy birthday again. Michelle Lampkin is getting jealous. Desiree Simon, Liverpool, now join us. Desiree Simons, teasing Francine, Lily Gulliver, all of you guys. God bless you. Continue to pray for Guyana to be back in the hands of good people, really good people, not corrupt people. We've got to save Guyana, not individuals. And if individuals got their personal war, they're pulling up in front of each other business and cranking their car. Ring, ring. Wake up, guys. Oh, quickly before I go.
I'm so happy. You cannot say. I'm so happy. You cannot say. Oh, much I'm so happy for our president, for promoting me.
You know they may get a promotion, right? And you know it's likely that they're not going to get a promotion, right? Because the same man that they were praising, that they were forced to praise, they may get no promotion. And I feel it for them. I feel like crying for them because they don't deserve that sort of con man business. They have been conned. That is why the joint services, when they go out to vote, they must vote for a change. You want betterment in the country. You want better leadership of the Guyana police force and so forth. That is what you need. You need leaders who will respect you guys as police officers. You don't need a corrupt government and corrupt business people get you line up long line collecting $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 and corrupting the entire goddamn police force and so forth. And now talking about justice. Oh gosh. Sometimes I get a little bit carried away, but I love you all. God bless you. I'll see you all tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. God bless you.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area.